Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30. It is Monday, January 13th. Time to wrap it up. And I guess we got a sloppy grind to the upside going on. That's what it looks like to me. It is not by any means a straight shot. It is back and forth in but net slowly grading itself or grinding itself to the upside. That is one heck of a slow-mo move, man. I'll tell you. That's one tough one to deal with. So far, the 58.65 is holding. They made a one attempt to take it high, got knocked down pretty hard. I've been waiting for them to start leaning in on the short side, but so far they've been like holding it together. And I mean, I would not be surprised if you see a sell-off going into the close. I mean, it looks to me like they're like literally squeezing the short right now. That's kind of what it looks to be. At this point, though, as long as they stay at or below 65s, I'm going to start off range bound. We are technically in the middle of that range. If you look at capital flow, we are up here in that attractor area. So in this range, resistance is going to start hitting us up to 5,900. Support's going to start kicking in down to the 5820s, and we are pretty much in the middle of it. So starting off range bound at this point. If they sell off into the close, I'll start off on the short side. If they close below that London high, at that point I would start from the short side. But at this point, it's anyone's guess where they're going to end up. But I've been waiting for them to nail that short side yet. But so far they've been stubbornly grinding this. So. Range bound, unless they take out the 45s on the way down. At that point, if they do that, then starting off on the short side. So that's how we get started on the ES this evening. Looking at the bonds and the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq. Let's start with the bond market. Weak. They've been down here defending at 110.26s, but I think that's just a nick. They're going to push this lower. So it looks to me like yields are heading higher. Prices are going lower. You're most likely going to see more pressure on the stock market when that starts happening. So trade bonds on the short side at this point. Look to sell strength up to the 111.14s. That's kind of the way I would start off on the bonds. On the Nasdaq, also I tried a few more trades. I had to stop. It's like getting myself upset and ticked off at it. And once you start getting yourself emotional and mad, then you have to stop because you're gonna do some stupid shit. So I tried a couple of short trades here on the Nasdaq. First one at this area looked like a nice retest failure, didn't go anywhere, shook me out. Tried another one after that the lower high, shook me out on that trade, and just to run it lower all the way down here to the tablet. And then when I started retracing, I tried a short trade, repaired it once, and it's like shit, this is not going at all. So I got a little pullback, I scratched it. I got a few bucks out of that trade, but it technically has to scratch. And look what happens then. Then they ran it right up here and hit my stops. This would have stopped me out if they kept going. So I got lucky on that one. And I tried one more short trade when it really knocked in. I figured like, okay, finally they're knocking it down. But no, they were not follow through at all. They stalled, and I just got shaken out of that trade. And there you have it. So 4 attempts to get short, and so far nothing. Nothing to show for it. The one which worked, it didn't go anywhere, got shaken out of. So 20 bucks on 7 contracts right now. I'm not gonna keep doing this right now. Obviously, if it happens, it happens. But at this point, it's just one of these things, Because I mean, you know how it goes on the Nasdaq. Once you see it, they start leaning in on the short side, or they're done squeezing it, and the whole thing comes apart, and they can retrace this whole range all the way to the lows in the next 15 minutes. So it could go pretty hard, and it just not quite there yet. So looking at the bigger picture though, the capital flow, Nasdaq is in a little bit above that area, that attractor at the 800. So I'm going to start off range bound on the Nasdaq, same as the ES. If they trade up above this area, the 21,000s, I would start thinking about, well, sorry, the 21,000. I would start thinking about retracement trade, confirmation about the 150, 170s. But I would be looking to selling up to that level, the 21,000s. And then looking to buy down here to that support area, and there can be an attractor at the 630. So far, that has been holding up pretty good. So support down here. If that comes out, and that could very well do so, the next attractor is down here at the 2500s, 450 to 500. So I'm not sure they're done on the short side of this yet. It's been a pretty gnarly move to the downside. So And the fact that they're holding the highs here, that yeah, it gets you almost excited about the long side for a second. But I'm going to start off range bound, and if they trade below on the Nasdaq, let me see what that level would be. You see that print here at the 850. If they close below 850, I'll start off on the short side. As long as they hold above the 850, I'm gonna start range bound. So we'll see where they end up. I'm going to get some selling into the close, but I'm probably not going to participate in that unless I get really excited about it. But it's just knockdown, drag out days, right? So on Nasdaq, pretty much every trade has been the same. I had a couple of trades here. These two trades, great trades. A shakeout on the short side would have been a great trade. On the long side would have been a great trade. Both of them got knocked out of the market at break even. It's like, okay. So it's one of those frustrating days. When you start getting yourself a little bit emotionally involved, you have to just stop it because you'll do something stupid and then you end up in a loser, and that's just gonna be awful. So we'll see how it goes. But at this point, if they close above this the 860 on the Nasdaq or the 545 or yeah 845 is on the ES, I think we maybe have a shot at trading higher. We'll see if they're going to be a little bit of strength in this. Finally, oil and gold. I did the debacle for the day was gold. I got caught in that thing, and that early on this morning, you can still see that trade had died off afterwards. That was this trade right there. I got short. I should know better, but I mean, I got caught up in a moment there, and they stalled. Right, reversed it. I tried to repair it, but they squeezed the shit out of it up here, way up there. High ticked me. Tried one more short trade, got to break even, and then knocked me out. So 109 on the down 109 on gold, and since then hasn't been much to deal with. I mean, I haven't really done much since. A couple of attempts to take it lower, one level lower at that, but as you see, I mean, the short side is the one which was the right call, but just the component of it in terms of staying in a trade did not work out for me. So as you say, sometimes you're right on the direction. The trade location is the thing which makes the difference, right? So at this point, I would trade gold from the short side. Let's see how far I can take it. On the downside, I'm taking down to the 70s, but the reverse retest of 82 did not hold. It took it lower below that. And then finally, oil. As I said before, last effort by Biden to add sanctions, which is going to kill the oil, rack up the oil prices. It's a parting gift from that administration just to mess up the whole freaking oil market just before they leave. It's pretty amazing. Like they want to do it when they were in office because they didn't want to deal with the higher oil prices. But now it's just free for all. Let's just make it work as bad as we can before we leave. Anyway, rest assured they're going to reverse that in a heartbeat. So we will see. But trade oil from the long side still. I mean, until they come off, the pressure is going to be to the upside. But this can reverse pretty darn quick once the change comes. We have one more week to go. All right, back to the ES. So trade oil from the long side, gold from the short side, and the ES. I will see so far no sell off. So we'll see if the ES going to end up closing around this high. But look at this sloppy run to the upside. That is something. 1.5 million contracts traded, so that's a good size volume. So fair amount of volume, and the volatility has definitely been there. So all right, so a few trades on the Nasdaq. Yes, shakeouts on that one, too volatile to make anything happen there. Even when they're right on the direction, and in gold, I'm not mucked it up in the morning, so I'm kind of living with that one. Anyway, we leave it there. I'll see you back in the morning. Now for tomorrow morning's news, we got news at 6 a.m. Small business optimism, and then we get the PPI number at 8:30, and then we have speakers at 10 and at 3:05. So that PPI number is what we're looking forward to tomorrow morning. Alrighty, guys. See you in the morning. Later.